Hello class, this is your teacher Mr. McDougall with your next Premiere Pro tutorial. In this one we are going to create a social media story and we're going to learn how to change our aspect ratio of our video to be a 9:16, which is a vertical video. So you can see here in my example, as always I like to give you an example of a finished product.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects that you can start using in your videos right away. Stay tuned and get ready to have some fun.
So we're going to create something just like that. Very short, only about 15 to 16 seconds, a short little promo video that we could put on a social media story. So let's get started. As always, download the exercise files. I'll get into this link in a second, but download the exercise files to get started and open them up in Premiere Pro with your new project ready to go. In the last lesson, we ended by color correcting. In this one, it's full of already color corrected B-roll clips, so we don't need to use that panel for this one. So where it says Lumetri color, you can click on the little three lines right here and just do close panel to make it go away. We could always bring it back later if and when we need it, but we don't need it right now. So closing panel just gives us more real estate space right here to work with. Okay, so what we're going to do now is create a custom vertical sequence. What you've been doing in Premiere Pro the whole time is just editing a video based on the sequence settings and size of the first clip that you put down. And up until now, I've been giving you regular size clips of just a landscape, which you would see on like a TV or a computer monitor. So for example, if I take this car, when I take the car and drag it on there, it creates it in this aspect ratio, which is this longer stretched out one. This one's even more rectangular than the 16:9. So that's why it looks like that. However, I'm not going to do that. So let's go back with Control or Command Z. There we go. We need to create a custom setting that is vertical. So the way we're going to do that is to go up to File, New, and then Sequence. Okay, so File, New, Sequence. So we'll create a brand new sequence from scratch. It's going to ask you a lot of this stuff. Don't worry about all these numbers and things. I haven't really talked about this stuff yet. Nothing you need to worry about. The only thing you do need to do is go to Settings. And the only thing we're going to change is the frame size right here. Right here where it says video and frame size. By default, it's 16:9, which is what we've been doing up until now. And that is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. All we need to do is switch these two numbers around to make it vertical. So this one says 1920 and this one says 1080. We're just going to switch them. So let's click here. This one is going to be 1080, so 1080. And this one will be 1920. So click there, 1920. And what you'll notice now, it's changed right here. It said 16:9, but now it says 9:16, showing that it's going to be a vertical video. The sequence name by default should just be sequence 1. So make sure it's just left on sequence 1 and then click OK. And now you'll see you have this vertical black screen because this is going to be our aspect ratio now. So when we complete this project, it'll be ready for social media stories for Instagram, TikTok, and everything else. And for this one, we're actually going to start with audio. The audio will be the skeleton of this. Just like in the talking head one, I talked about that being the A roll. Since we don't have a talking head in this one, we just have this audio voiceover. This will be our A roll. This will be our main point. So you'll notice that there's nothing you could scrub over because there's no video component at all. It's just this audio wave file. So when you click and bring this onto your timeline, you'll notice you can't put it anywhere up here because this is the video section and there's no video component, so it won't let you. You have to bring it down here to the audio section on track A1 right there. So track A1 will let you put it in the audio section. And I'm going to zoom in. Let's zoom in so we can see it. As I mentioned, this is a super short clip. It's only about 16 seconds. So we don't need to cut my clip at all. If I play it, you're just going to hear my audio voiceover talking about my course.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done.
All right, so that sounds pretty good. So our entire video is going to be this length right here. We're going to use every single one of these clips on this timeline, and we're going to cut it down to fit this exact length, just like we did in the very first tutorial for this unit when we just got started with Premiere Pro and I gave you a bunch of clips and we cut them down. Except this time we're going to be a little bit more strategic. We're really going to take our time, play around with these. I'm even going to show you a couple new tricks and some new tools to use these guys. So now if I bring in this car clip, if I bring it onto my timeline on track 1, you'll see it fits here, but it's fitting within the vertical settings. if you bring the clip on here and it gives you some kind of warning to keep or change your settings, choose keep settings. Don't let it change. It may pop up because it's going to say that, hey, this clip and your sequence don't match. Would you like to change it? Say no. Say you want to keep the settings the same so it stays vertical. The thing we need to make sure we do for all of these clips is we don't want to see any of these black edges right here. See how it's black on the top and the bottom because the video is longer, more rectangular, and it doesn't really fit. So every single one of these, we want to make sure we adjust the scale and or position to fit. So let's click on this one, go up to our effect controls and motion. I'm not going to do a stopwatch for this one. I will do it for another one, but let's just increase the scale a little bit so the image gets bigger. Increase the scale a little bit. Now it gets bigger. And then maybe adjust the position a little bit as well so I see more of the car on that side. Let's see.
Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video.
That's not bad, except I am going to trim the clip because, as you could say, this clip by itself is already 8 seconds. So I'm not going to be able to fit it and all the other clips in here. So just like we did in the first exercise or in the first lesson of Premiere, we need to trim just the best part. We only want about a second or two of each clip. So let's do that with this one.
Mr. McDougall here, and I am
kind of like that part right there. So I'm just going to cut that little chunk out right there.
Here, and I am designing.
Right there looks good. Move that to the beginning. Excellent. All right, let's bring on another clip and I'll show you a cool trick. Let's go with this basketball player guy right here. I'm going to bring him onto the clip. As you can see right here, this is a super long clip because it's in slow motion.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing.
Also, let me give you a little pro tip because you're going to be playing this back and forth a lot as you watch this. In order to not hear my voice every single time, on track A1 right here, there's some buttons. Click this M button and it says mute track. So I click that. Now this whole track on A1 has been muted. So if I play it, you're not going to hear any audio. I muted my voice. So you may want to do that as you're going back and forth because as you play this over and over again, you're going to hear that same audio clip over and over again. And you may not want to hear that every single time. Okay, so this one you could tell, super slow-mo clip of this guy dunking. I do want to see the whole clip of him dunking, but it's way too long and slow and boring, so I need to fix that. So first let's adjust the scale and position so we see the guy fit with no black bars right here. So I'm going to click on the clip. Let's go to scale. Let's increase the scale so it's big enough to where we don't see the black edges anymore. And let's change the position to where the guy is right there. All right, let's do a Ken Burns effect to follow this guy because if I play it right now, you can see he starts going out of frame, so I don't want that. All right, so now let's do this. Let's do a Ken Burns effect. I'm going to put this right here at the beginning and let's create a stopwatch for position. And then let's move this all the way to the end to where he dunks. And we need to change the position because you can see now he's gone out of frame. So as long as the stopwatch is running, let's change the position now. Drag it to the left. Right there. Now this will track him between these two keyframes. See, as I play the video now, it follows him as he makes the dunk and he doesn't go out of frame. This is exactly what we did with the Ken Burns effect right here. Let me show you another cool trick where we can speed this up so we can watch the whole thing. So we're going to introduce a new tool. So typically when we trim the clip, and this is something I've showed you before by just grabbing the end of it and trimming it down like that, the problem with doing that is I've just cut the entire clip. So now I'm not going to see the whole thing. If I play it, it's just going to cut right there. I didn't get to see it. He was barely in the air for about a half a second. So I'm going to undo that. If we use a new tool called the Rate Stretch tool, and that's going to be over here in our toolbar. Just like when we did Photoshop, if you were here for Photoshop, there's actually a lot more tools than you see right here. A lot of them are just grouped together in order to save space. So right here where it says Ripple Edit tool, you'll see there's a little tiny arrow right there. Click and hold on the Ripple Edit tool. So click and hold your mouse for a second, and more tools will pop up right here. The one we want is this one called the Rate Stretch tool, or R is the keyboard shortcut. If you hit R on your keyboard, it will go straight to that. So I'm going to click that one for the Rate Stretch tool. And now you can see my mouse looks a little bit different and it won't let me grab anything unless I'm at the end of the clip. So if I bring my mouse to the end of the clip right here, I can now adjust it. You'll see it's got this bracket with this curved arrow. If I drag it in now, I squeeze it all the way in with the Rate Stretch tool, let's say till about right there. Now what I've done, I haven't trimmed the clip to cut it. I've actually trimmed the clip to make it shorter, but now it's really sped up. So if I play it now, it's going to be a lot faster. like that. See, that actually showed me the entire clip, but now it's a super fast dunk instead of this slow-mo dunk. That looks good. However you drag the rate stretch tool controls the speed. If I bring it out here, it will still show me in this amount of time. You can see it's slightly faster than it was before, but I want it to be that super fast, only about a second, so I could fit all the other clips on here with the others, like that. Let me show you how to make a cool boomerang effect with this one too. We're going to play it to where it goes back and forth like this. All right, let's go back to our selection tool. Always make sure you're on the selection tool by default if you're not specifically using one of these other tools. Because if I come here and I try to grab the rate stretch tool with this, I just made my audio sped up and I might sound like a chipmunk, so be careful with that. Always go back to the selection tool when you're not using something else. All right, so now with the selection tool, check this out. I'm going to make a boomerang with this by duplicating it and changing the speed. So take your basketball clip right here, click on this one, and you're going to hold a key on your keyboard as you move it. By default, if I just move it, it moves the clip over like that. If you're on a PC, you're going to hold the Alt button, and if you're on a Mac, you're going to hold the Option button. So hold that button depending on which keyboard you're using, Alt or Option, and while you're holding it, then click and drag the clip over. And you'll let go of the mouse, you'll see I've duplicated it. So now if I put this back to back, I created a copy of this clip. It's the same clip twice in a row. All right, so now that we've made a copy, we have the guy dunking twice. On this second one that you just made, make sure they're back to back. Right click on it, come up to this option that says speed/duration right here. Click on that, and all you're going to do is check this box that says reverse speed. Check that and click OK, and now this video clip will play backwards. So now if I play this, it's going to go like a boomerang. It'll go forward and then backwards. Forward and then backwards like that. Awesome. So now you've created this cool boomerang effect with this guy. I love it. Let's practice it again together with the skateboarder. Let's bring the skateboarder on here. Very cool. Comes all the way in. I like that. Let's do the same thing. Let's click on it. First, let's adjust the scale to zoom in. You may want to trim the clip as well. I think I've already trimmed this one, but let me bring this out so you can see. If you bring the whole clip on, it's going to look more like this. This is a lot longer. Comes all the way up the ramp, all the way out of frame like that. So let's trim this one so we don't use the whole thing. We'll speed this one up too, but just like we did with the car, we want to trim it, just the best parts. This is where you get to experiment with trimming and the rate stretch and everything we've done before. I think I want to trim it to right before he jumps up right here. So I'm going to trim that part. And we'll practice the rate stretch and the Ken Burns thing again. Let's see, let's go right here. Maybe right there. Once he goes out of frame, we'll take this part, and then even though it's long right here, I'm going to do the rate stretch to speed it up also. So first, let's go right here. Let's create the Ken Burns effect with this guy because I like him right in that spot. And let's create a stopwatch for position. So now we have our keyframe for this first position. I'm going to move this down the timeline. Now he's out of the frame, and I'm just going to adjust the position right here to where he's back in the frame again. Like that. So now if I play it, it will follow him as he goes all the way across. Like that. That looks cool. Now let's use the rate stretch tool again. Come back to the rate stretch, and we can speed it up. Grab it by the end, speed it up like that. Now you'll see it's much faster. Might be a little too fast. That's looking better. And now let's try the boomerang effect again with this guy. So let's click on here. Oh, sorry. We're going to hold Alt or Option, depending on your keyboard. Drag it over. Let go. Put them back to back. And then on this copy one, right-click, speed and duration. And then check reverse speed. Make this play backwards and click OK. So now this one will also play backwards. It looks a little funky right here because of the playback. Your video is actually not going to look like that. It's just looking like that because the playback is set to a lower quality. So it looks a little choppy. Looks pretty cool. I like it. All right, so now again, what you're going to do is take all of these clips, put them all on the timeline, and cut them to where they fit right here. But I want you to be strategic using just the most interesting parts, just like we did in the first exercise. Maybe you want a clip right here. Maybe if you want to use this one, you want like the part right when this girl opens her eyes might be a cool part. but we're going to use the Ken Burns effect, the rate stretch tool, everything we've learned so far to make this really cool and engaging, just like my example. So start doing that, and then by the time you finish, you should have something that looks like mine right here.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects that you can start using in your videos right away. Stay tuned and get ready to have some fun.
So there's no right or wrong way to adjust the order. You may decide that you want to mix some of these up. Maybe I decide that I don't like this duplicate one after all and I want to change it. I could delete this, go back, use my rate stretch tool. I can mess around. Maybe I think the car needs to go on the other side. Maybe it'd be more interesting if the car is right there. And these guys, I start with these guys. Maybe I'll move them forward. This is the part of video editing where it's a lot like a puzzle. The goal is to keep your audience engaged. You can see that's we're cutting really quickly, showing a lot of cool, engaging videos that look pretty. The action, right on the action is happening. We want the audience to stay engaged. We don't want them to look away. We want to keep their attention so they really like our video. If we hold on a shot for too long, or if it's not an interesting part, then the audience is going to disengage. This is where we really take our time and see what feels right. You get to feel it out. So complete that part, pause this video so you can get to that part, and then I'll go over the next step, which is going to be adding music. All right, so if you've completed all this, you've cut all your clips onto the timeline, about 16 seconds. Now we are going to add some music. So the way we're going to do that is to use that link I showed you in the lesson on Google Classroom. So if we go back to Google Classroom, you'll see right down here, here's the assignment. You go down to the bottom, you'll see a link called Purple Planet Royalty-Free Music. So click on that. Before you do anything on this, we're going to use this a few times throughout this unit. So I want you to bookmark this website to save it up here. So before you do anything, click the star. Make sure you save it to your bookmarks bar. And that way you'll see it right here, Purple Planet Royalty-Free Music. That way you can quickly go back here. Because I'm just going to give you the link once in this lesson, but we will use this website multiple times. So here is royalty-free music. What royalty-free music means is music that you are allowed to use and post online without getting trouble or flagged for copyright issues. You can't just take a popular song that you hear on the radio and use that and post it on YouTube or social media. If you do that, your video will get flagged and taken down because you don't have the legal rights to play that song without paying the artist or something. If you look on YouTube, there's certain playlists like royalty-free music or copyright-free music, or use websites like this, then you can use these music and post it without getting in trouble. So let's explore this website a little bit. We got some upbeat, energy, hope. There's a lot of categories right here. So I want you to start looking for songs that you might use for the background music of this video. So let's start here maybe with the upbeat one, but you could pick a different category. You see you have a bunch of song tracks right here, and you can play them and listen to them. That sounds okay, maybe a little too childish on that one, we'll see. But we're gonna find a background song to go beneath my audio voiceover and the video, just like I showed you in the example. When I played the example, you can hear that there was some background music.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is all...
You want that music to really add to it so it's not just quiet like your video is right now. So you're going to play a couple of them. So you can really listen to it. Might be a little loud because they are loud by default and we are going to turn it down. But I want you to find some that you might use. I like this one. This is the one that I use in my example, so I'm going to go with this one as some potential others. But when you find a song that you like, you're like, oh, that might be a good song, we're going to download it. So click download right here. You'll see this window will pop up, and you'll see this on this side that says download MP3. Click that. It will download it as an MP3 track. MP3 means it's only an audio file. There's no video. And if we click back, go to site, or click this X to close it, I want you to download a few. I want you to download at least 4 potential ones. We are going to narrow it down to our best song, but give yourself some options at first, and then that way we could test them out and make sure it actually feels like it. That one's pretty cool. I might go with that one too. Let's download that one. All you gotta do is click download MP3, and you get to download the track. Not that one. No. Maybe. No, definitely not that one. Download a few that you like. Ooh, that one's cool. That one's got a beat to it. Let's download this one too. Alright, so we're going to download potential tracks to give yourself some options. And first we need to take them out of our downloads folder. So open up your file or your Finder. Go to your downloads folder so you can see the Purple Planet tracks that you've downloaded. We need to move them into our project folder first before we import them into Premiere Pro. So open up your second window with your exercise files. Grab all of the tracks that you could potentially use and bring them into the folder first. So take all the tracks, take them out of your downloads folder, and drop them in with your other exercise files right here. All these ones that say Purple Planet and the name of the song. Now that they're in here, we can import them into our project just like we did with the other exercise files. So let's open Premiere. And as always, you know, the easiest way I like to import is to just drag everything in here. So open your File Explorer or your Finder and take all the songs that you could potentially want to use and drop them in with the other exercise files right here. So here's the 3 songs I might use. Make sure you click away so you don't have all of them highlighted. But take one at a time, put them down at the bottom on track A2 and have it as background music and see if it fits the vibe. So we're going to do that. I'm going to change this to list mode so I can see it a little bit better. All right, so let's spread this out. All right, so let's test one at a time. Let's see. So let's open road one. That one I thought sounded pretty cool. I'm going to put it down here and it will be a little loud. So let's just adjust. I'll adjust it as it goes.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects that you can start using in your videos right away. Stay tuned and get ready to have some fun.
Now this one's pretty cool. I might go with that one. That sounds pretty good. If I don't, I can click on it and delete it. Maybe go with this Sunbeam one.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done.
See, this one I also like. This one has like a more of like a whimsical sense to it, but that other one had a really cool like rock and hip hop upbeat vibe to it. So maybe I can go with either one of these. I do like the Sunbeam one, but this open road one sounds pretty cool too. And again, it just depends on you and your style. You might pick a song that's got a totally different vibe, and that's okay. So I think I'm going to stick with the Sunbeam one for now, but that other one was pretty cool. You know what? I'm going to call an audible and change my mind. I'm going to mix it up. Let's delete this one. I kind of like that open road one. Let's go with this one. But I only want the part of the song that matches it too. So if I play it, I can see that it kind of dips right here. And maybe I don't want that dip where I'm talking.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects that you can start using.
I think I might want to start right there. So I'm going to trim this. Especially when it says go. I think that's pretty cool. Let's start it right there and bring that over. Let's see how that fits the vibe.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am...
Maybe even a little bit more right there. So he says go right before I even start talking.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing...
That's pretty cool. I'm digging that. All right, that sounds good. We want it to end at the same time also. So make sure that we cut the clip right here, because otherwise now my video is almost 2 minutes long because it's the length of the track. Otherwise the video will stop playing and the music will continue to play on a black screen. See, like that, and I don't want that. So let's cut it right here. You can trim it or use the razor tool like I showed you in the last lesson. The razor tool. Let's make a cut right there. Go back to the selection tool and we'll just delete this whole part of it right there. So obviously you could tell the music is way too loud. So we can adjust the audio like I showed you in the previous lesson. Let's expand these menus a little bit. Remember, if you bring your mouse in between the track numbers, you can grab them and extend them a little bit so you can see that white line, which is the audio level line. Let's do that for both track A1 and A2. And this is the music. It's way too loud, so this needs to come way down. You could tell it's peaking into the red, super loud. So let's grab it and bring it down a little bit. And you're going to have to experiment with where is the right level for you, so where you just have the music in the background and you can hear my voice as the dominant, but we're not peaking or going too high. So I put it at about -10. Let's see what that sounds like.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing.
That sounds good, but it's still a little too loud. It's hard to hear me, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit more, maybe -17. And this will depend on your song choice and how loud it is too. Your decibel levels that I'm going to may not be exactly the same.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done.
Oh, I like that. What I could also do is maybe even raise my voice a little bit, because you can see as my voice is talking, it's not going super high. So maybe I could take the line from my voice and bring it up a tad, a little bit higher, maybe make my voice a little louder.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video.
So you get to decide what levels you want to be, how loud you need my voice to be, and how quiet you need the music to be. The only thing you really need to pay attention to is right here. So I'm playing it and I could tell that my music, or at least my whole audio level, is good. It's not getting above -6, and that's what I want.
Editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects.
Yeah, so this is good. I'm not peaking, I'm not getting into the yellow, so that means my audio levels are appropriate. Another quick little tip for you as you're doing this is you can see all the clips are the same color and all the audio is the same color. A trick to help you change that visually to make it a little more organized and easier to move things around is we could change the color of any of these as well. So my music, for example, instead of having them both be green, I think I'll leave the voiceover as green, but this one I'll change. Just click on any clip you want, right click on it, go to label, and label will bring up all these other colors you can change it to. So maybe I want this to be mango color or something. Now it's this orange mango. So now I know that this one is my music track. It doesn't matter what color you choose. I could pick a different one if I want. If I want it to go back to this, but now it's the same as the B-roll, so I don't want that. Maybe magenta. Completely up to you on what color you want. It doesn't change anything about your video. It just changes how visually it looks on the timeline to make it easier for you to identify everything that you need to see on your timeline. Okay? So now let's see what it looks like with my awesome audio levels, my cool kick butt music, and all my cool B-roll clips on here.
Hey now, Mr. McDougall here, and I am designing my video editing course. It is almost done. I'm going to show you some really exciting tricks and effects that you can start using in your videos right away. Stay tuned and get ready to have some fun.
All right, that's pretty good. If I put that on my social media story, I think that would be good to at least hold some attention for a little while, at least gauge some interest as people watch and vibed out to the music. So that's great. So as you're going through this, again, I want you to take your time doing all of the steps that I went through. I know I did it pretty fast just to show you an example, but take your time to make sure you're getting the right B-roll clips in the right order, that you're making them engaging using the Ken Burns effect and following the clips, doing that cool boomerang thing. Make sure you have some nice music that matches the vibe of it. You might decide that you don't like your music track after all, and you go back to Purple Planet to find some new ones. Do whatever it takes to make a cool, awesome promo video that you're really proud of. Once you have completed that, then you can export your video. Make sure, as always, it's only 15 seconds. 15 to 16 seconds should be the max. And then we can go up to export and export it to our social media and then turn it in from there. So you're only exporting this one vertical video for this one. Export it, turn it into this lesson for today, social media story. Have fun, and I'll see you on the next one.